would you want Wilton to look like 10 years from now?
I'd like to see a vibrant downtown. That I think we have the apartments coming online across from the post office, the ones next to Village Market. We have Kimco. There's going to be a huge influx of people to the downtown area. And even this summer on a Wednesday during the farmers market, when people are out of town on summer school vacations, it was packed downtown, and parking's hard to find, and people, I watched two fender benders happen, and I'm like, wow, we have like almost 300 maybe new apartments coming online in this quarter-acre area. How's that going to work with all those cars? So I think in 10 years, what I want to see is a very well-planned-out, thoughtful, vibrant downtown, because we're going to have a lot of people here, and I think it can be a great area. I love, as someone said in the last debate, valuing our outdoor aspect of it all. We're a farming, traditionally, historically farming town that we like open spaces. So in 10 years, yeah, I'd like to see us have a vibrant downtown, lots of open spaces around the town, development around the Route 7 corridor, and a really nice budget with not overwhelming debt. That's what I'd like to see. Thank you.
Mr. Fenwick, what would you like? What would you like to see?
I like the not overwhelming that part.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I was at Weir Farm. For those of you who may not be aware, that's kind of the highest point in Wilton. I was speaking to the park ranger there. It's the only national historic site in Connecticut, I don't know, by the parks. And he told me something that blew my mind away. He told me that when the Weirs were painting their art there, that you could see Long Island Sound. That meant there were no trees. There was no trees because everything was farmland. If you walk through the North River Valley Trail, you'll see stone walls in the middle of the woods. Why are there stone walls? Because, again, this used to be farmland. So people who tell me Wilton should stay the way it is don't understand how much has changed relatively quickly. While I agree there's a Wilton vibe, it does evolve. Part of that evolution is bringing some more dense housing in, because we need the population to maintain things like the Wilton Market and Stop and Shop and the restaurant. Without more population, Wilton Center will wither up and die. Won't remain what it is. So again, I want to see us to continue to evolve naturally with planned growth, and just move on from there. So I think we're in a good position where we are, and we're just evolving naturally.
Ms. Eden?
So, when I was on the library board back in 2018 or so, they did a town survey, and the NRVT came in at number 1, and the library came in at number 2. As we sit in the library space, this is still, it was one of the best boards I've ever been on, and I cherish this building and everything that it does. And I did understand why the NRVT was so popular, because it's amazing, and we're really fortunate to have it, and when it makes its way all the way up to Danbury, it'll be just an amazing resource for everyone here. People talk about our downtown. I like our stores that we have, right? I shop at them. I have friends that come from New Canaan to Wilton for some of our stores. Not a lot, we don't have a lot, but the ones we have, we should be using more often, right? We should stay in town, and we should support them because they support us. I love the fact that they moved the farmers market to Town Green, away from the Historical Society. No offense to them, but I just think it is much more available, and it's a reminder. You happen to be going through and remember, oh gosh, it's Wednesday, which is it's Wednesday already. So, and really, at the end of the day, I'm a CPA and a finance person at heart, and so I'm going to agree that keeping our town fiscally sound and appropriate is really the way to move Wilton forward.
Mr. Ramondi?
As I think about that question, to me the question is, why am I running? right? Which stamp do I want to leave on Wilton that hopefully will still be here in the next 10 years? And for me, it starts with, I love Wilton. I'm from here, I grew up here, I went to all the schools, my brother played guitar on the stage, the year of the flood, and that's why I'm here. That's true of everyone else on the stage too. That's why we're all dedicating our time to do this. I love the downtown, right? I'd like to see it more vibrant. I think that's great. I would agree with what everyone said. But as I think about the Board of Finance, I think there are some things that we've instituted over the last 2 to 4 years that my sincere hope gets continued over the next decade. Right? There are the processes that I talked about earlier. Right? We've got this debt service that we need to accomplish. We have the tools and the process in place to deal with it. I hope that all gets carried forward. So that this mountain that we're dealing with now, it ends with this generation. Because in the future, they'll have the fund. They'll have my model, right? All they got to do is roll it forward. And so they can focus on the vision of Wilton versus fixing some of the broken things. That's my sincere hope. I think second, we didn't talk about it, but when I became chairman, one of my big goals on the Board of Finance was transparency and accountability. And there was a couple of things that we did to drive that forward. We put out a survey every year. I put out newsletters that come out probably 5 or 6 times a year during the budget season. I speak with all the civic groups in town, and I speak with the RTC, I speak with the DTC, and there's no holds barred. Ask me any question you want, I work for you. Happy to answer any question. And I hope that continues for our future leaders as well, because I think it's really important that all of us on the stage, we are you, right? We pay taxes too. When we raise taxes, it also hurts us. And so I want to make sure there's still that. I believe that bond is there. I hope that it continues. And then lastly, to that, when I became chairman, a big goal was just camaraderie and harmony among the boards. And so historically, sometimes the Board of Finance, we went and did our thing, and Board of Education did their thing, and the Board of Selectmen did their thing, and they were all separate in silos, and 9 times out of 10 there's disagreement, and sometimes volatile disagreement. Disagreement is okay. It's natural. It's a good thing. But it should happen in a harmonious manner. So one of the things that I did is try and bring all the groups together. And so having one conversation, because ultimately we're 3 boards, but we're one Wilton, and try to have one government. I hope that mantra and that vision continues.
Okay.